Where professional race teams use wind tunnels and exotic composite materials, I use 3D printing and an angle grinder because today I'm going to show you how I upgraded the fender vents on my Mazda MX-5 race car. So if you've been here before, you would have seen the fender vents I've had on my Mazda MX-5. And well, this is the newest iteration, kind of version 3 you might say. And well, I'm pretty happy with how they've turned out. But of course, that's the whole point of this video. So we've kind of fast forwarded it straight to the end. Let me show you how I designed them and then how I put them into the car.
This is going to be a completely self-inflicted 5-step process that ends with me permanently cutting holes in my perfectly good MX-5 guards. So once I start, there's really no backing out. The plan is design a new vent in Fusion, 3D print it over and over until it's almost right, remove the old vent, cut a much bigger hole in the guard to suit the new one, and then number 5 is of course glue the new vent in and hope for the best. So let's get into it. My software of choice here is Fusion, and while I'm reasonably competent at drawing rectangles and adding fillets, this sort of more organic modeling really isn't my strong suit. So I took a very scientific, get it close enough approach. My inspiration here is from the latest Porsche GT3 RS. I used a bunch of different 2D sketches to define the kind of final shape. Things like circular profiles to set the overall curve of the guard, another sketch for the vent vanes themselves, and a few others to tie it all together. And if you look at the timeline down the bottom, that's not a flex, that's just what happens when you refuse to start again from scratch. I also modeled a separate border piece that I could split out and 3D print as a cutting template, because once you're cutting the metal, guessing is generally a bad idea. With the design done, it's time to throw it at the 3D printer and let it squirt out melted plastic in roughly the shape I was hoping for. Still kind of amazing we can just do this now. There were a lot of test prints, including plenty that didn't match the fender curve at all. But eventually, I landed on something that actually looked right, which is this one here in white. But then for the final versions, I printed them in black, hit them with a few coats of clear, just to give them a bit more protection from the weather. Before the new vents go in though, I need to prep the guards by removing the old ones. These have been on the car for years now and they're definitely showing it. Cracks on the front and some warping from too much sun exposure. They were due for replacement anyway. Dimensionally, the new vents are probably close to twice the area of the old ones. What that does aerodynamically, I got absolutely no idea. That's a question for someone smarter than me. To get the old vents out, I start by cutting away some of the adhesive with a blade and then move on to pliers and snips to break the material up and pull it away from the guard. Even though this opening is about to get a lot bigger, it's still worth tidying it up first, so I clean off the remaining adhesive from around the back edge. Once that's done, I can start working out where the new vent will sit. This 3D printed template is the exact shape of the new vent opening, so I can mock it up, get it positioned where I want it, and mark out the cut line. I used the guts of a clicky ballpoint pen to get a nice fine edged line, which in hindsight is pretty pointless really, because I'm about to cut it out anyway, so a Sharpie would have probably been completely fine. The new vent lines up pretty much centrally over the old one, same general area, just bigger. Now for the point of no return. For the cutting, I'm using a mix of an angle grinder with a cutoff wheel, a flap disc to clean things up, and some hand filing for the tighter areas. The rounded corners here are intentional. They just look more cleaner and more professional compared to the old vent, which was basically a rectangle with sharp 90-degree corners. Getting into the tight areas though, with the cutoff wheel is pretty tricky. So the approach here is to make a series of small perpendicular cuts and then trim them back gradually. The goal is to rough cut most of the material, leaving about 1 millimeter inside the line. That gives me a bit of insurance, so I can slowly creep up to the final shape with the sanding disc, which is good because this is very much the stage where you can mess up a guard. Of course, there are 2 vents, so I get to do this all again on the other side. Same process, remove the old vent, clean up the area, mark out the opening, rough cut, and refine it. I did take a few quick measurements here to try and keep both sides aligned, because if these aren't symmetrical, I will absolutely notice it forever. Before gluing anything in, I gave the exposed metal edges a quick hit of white touch-up paint. Corrosion isn't really a huge risk here, but leaving bare metal exposed just isn't good practice. Then it's glue time. I'm using Sikaflex 252 for this, mostly because I already had it sitting in my glue drawer, quietly going past its expiry date. It's white, which isn't ideal, but once the vents are in place, you don't really see it anyway, hopefully. This stuff is insanely sticky, and my glue gun absolutely hates it. So the process here is attempting to lay down a reasonably consistent bead around the perimeter of the vent, then stick it in place, and try not to get glue absolutely everywhere. After installing the first one, of course, I very quickly realized that gloves were a good idea, mainly because I'd already got the glue everywhere. A few clamps and bits of timber to hold everything in place while the glue sets, and then it's a 24-hour wait before touching anything. And there we have it. Vents installed, guards not ruined, job done. What do you think? Does it look alright? I've got no idea if it's aerodynamically functional, but at least it looks cool, right?
And so, there you go. Of course, the download link is in the description. Leave a comment with any suggestions or ideas you have for the version 4, and I'll see you next time.
By the way, if you've got a sharp eye, you might have noticed this sitting in the background of a few shots. More on that in a future video.